Hello my friends and welcome to episode 20 of our Football Manager 2021 Let's Play with Rangers. Today we are taking on nobody because it's the end of season review. It shows you how much habit I have with that. This season, of course, we only won the domestic league and League Cup double. We did also have the reserves win the Challenge Cup, which is the equivalent of the Paint Trophy in England, just some reserve teams or some under-20s teams in real life, and some teams from other countries like England, Wales and Northern Ireland, I believe, can play. I think there might be a couple of Irish teams in there now as well. Overall a positive season. A bit unlucky in the Europa League. I made a mistake, obviously, thinking we got it on away goals, and a bit unlucky in the Scottish Cup final where we just didn't turn up, let's be brutally honest. And obviously Barkas made a couple of very good saves. We do have some signings sorted out for next season. We'll go into that next season. So here is our new arrivals. It was a busy transfer market, and say there was some good business in bringing some key signings who contributed huge to our success. So Durrami with 11 goals and 8 appearances, 1 off the bench and 3 assists. Jamie Semple played 1 off the bench, that Scottish Cup. No, it wasn't. It was Scottish Cup against Kilmarnock when we had the 39 international players. He scored 1 in that sub-appearance. Adam Holzick played 39 games, including 2 off the bench, with 36 goals and 7 assists. Max Kilman with 25 games, 2 goals, 2 assists from centre-back. And Pandu with 4 goals, 1 assist in 4 games off the bench and 19 more. Scott McKenna played 20 with 2 off the bench, 2 goals. Mayer 33 and 4 with 7 goals, 13 assists. Not particularly a great return from him. Orsic with 32 appearances, 17 off the bench, 24 and 16. So a very good return for him. Antonio Marin 15 and 2 with 8 and 8. Mimno 6 and 5 with 1 and 1. Nico 18 and 7 with 1 and 1. Again, maybe need a bit more from Nico. Woodman played 23 games apparently. I didn't think he played that many. Elena with 10 and 6 with 2 and 2. Again, maybe need to up those numbers, Charles. Doig with 1 and 5. Lewis Ferguson with 5 and 6. And Charlie Cresswell came off the bench. And then I think everyone else after that will be young players. So there it will be. Transfers out. Ryan Jack left. Middleton left. Finlayson, Roof. Morelos doing well. Roof doing well. And Barisic not doing great for Barcelona by the looks of it. Connor Goldson had an outstanding season. He did trigger that appearance bonus, as I said, so he did go for in the end for the £51 million. Jordan Jones done okay. Ross McCrory is coming back. I will just tell you that right now. He is coming back. He is the Aberdeen captain, or was the Aberdeen captain till the end of the season. It was very, very solid. Hollander looks like he had a decent season in Bournemouth. Greg Stewart struggled. Aribo, more games than expected for Man United. Murphy away, Arfield away, of course. Anyone else of note, really? Not that I think of. And then loans out. Do you know what? I'm going to review the loans probably independently here. But Harley Ewan looks like he had a decent one. In truth. So the league table, we finished on 103 points. Excuse me. With the competition top goal scorer being Mislav Orsic. So slightly down on last season, but you know, hey ho, it is what it is. Champions League, as you remember, we finished third in that group. We done fairly well. Europa League unfortunately knocked out by Leicester after progression past Atlanta after extra time. Scottish Cup lost the final. Betfred Cup plain sailing, to be truthful in that one. A 5-0, 2 4-2s and a 2-0 in the final. Adam Holzick the top goal scorer. Durrami the top goal scorer in the Scottish Cup. Europa League was Adam Holzick for us. And Adam Holzick again shows you that Adam Holzick was really, really good in European competitions. Overall, biggest win, Aberdeen. Motherwell rather, the 6-0 that we had. Don't know why I said Aberdeen there. Read that as Aberdeen. I sort of mixed Ajax and Motherwell together. Sorry if you can hear my cat in the background. Match to remember being the Champions League game against Ajax. And goal of the season went to Mislav Orsic in the opening day, which was a free kick. The only free kick that I remember scoring this season. Sponsorship, it will be down from last season. Broadcast revenue went up, corporate and hospitality went up, prize money went up considerably, obviously, and match day and commercial and retail went up by about $1 million, so that is good. 32,000 shirts sold, with Halsick, Kent, Tavernier, Mayor and Orsic our biggest sellers. So that is pretty good. Now last year it said no sponsorship deals this year, and then later on it did say there was an extra couple of sponsorship deals, so we'll see how that goes. And this is now saying how we lined up, so it was McCrory, Tavernier, Edmondson, Gilman. Yeah, probably. Bassey, of course, Barisic left halfway through the season, probably played slightly more games, Bassey. Kelly, Nico, Hadji, Kennedy apparently getting more games than Mayer, Kent and Halsick. So, a fairly solid team overall, that. And the accolades. Cat, will you please stop? Sorry, guys. Overall, manager of the month for May, August, September, November, January, February, March. Manager of the year, writers, not players. Player of the season was George Edmondson, who stepped up. I didn't think he had a particularly good season. If I'm honest, goal of the season, Orsic, as we've already covered. Signing the season being Mayer, who again I don't think had a particularly great season. So that was young player of the season. Fans player of the season being Tavernier, which is interesting. Most overall goals by a player in a single season, Adam Halsick beat that. And highest fee received is Morelos, apparently. Now that would be gold, I would imagine, but apparently it's not upgraded. No competition awards to show. So we're going to kind of work through this now. We'll go through all that later on. Adam Halsick jumps into the best 11, as does Robbie McCrory, surprisingly. Apparently Mayer has as well, and Kai Kennedy will be in the bench, I would imagine. Yeah, he is indeed, right here. So, we'll just confirm this signing right now. Lewis Nielsen for 2.3 million, just so you guys know. Transfers in, already confirmed. Livakovic, 10 million. I said we felt like we needed a goalkeeper upgrade. So we have finally managed to go and get Livakovic. He's got a work permit coming in. £10 million, obviously a very solid goalkeeper. Lewis Nielsen, as you've just seen, just been confirmed literally right now for 2.3, I think it was. Young Scottish defender. Another really good young defender, but again can cover several different positions as well. So, can cover in for us in multiple positions and a lot of potential about him. Ross McCrory returning to the club. We wanted to get him back. The minute that we knew he was going, I wanted to get him back, so he's 2.8 million. Liam Diamond for 35k is a young player from Hearts. He is a regen, 4-star potential midfielder. And Leighton Stewart is the other one in. He is a young striker from Liverpool again. Just gives us more option and a decent solid player. In the terms of outs, let's have a look at the wanted. So Tavernier only wanted by Burnley. Now they've said multiple times that they might not make a move. Glenn Kamara wanted by Brighton, Burnley, Everton, Fulham and Sheffield United. He's valued at 14 million. I think if we could get a little bit more than that, I'd be fairly content to sell. Edmondson wanted by a load of teams, valued at 13.5 million. Now I do have a promise with him, if I remember correctly. Will that promise still be there? Yeah, I've got 4 days left. So unfortunately we will have to accept 26 million for him. I think we can get more than that. Hadji wanted by a bunch of teams. He's still worth at 16 million. I think we could double that, to be truthful. Dapo would be fairly content to actually sell him, to be honest. He's not developing great, so if we got a decent offer for Dapo, I would sell. Mail, not going to sell. That's end of contract. Norwich, I would be fairly content selling Freddie Woodman, to be honest. It would pay for Livakovic, basically. Hillman, wanted by a bunch of teams, fairly open to selling him. McKenna, I would rather not. I'd rather keep McKenna, to be honest, for another season and assess from there. Caventus is a young goalkeeper. You're young, right? So all youth players. So on the outs, we'd sell probably Tavernier just because of his age. He's getting on. Alan McGregor will see out his contract and go. Tavernier is 30 now, yeah, so I'd be fairly content to sell him. I think Nathan Patterson's about ready to step in. Kilman I'm happy to sell. I don't think he was quite where I wanted him to be. McKenna I would rather keep. Nico had a bit of interest, but he's got a new contract now, as you can see, so that interest is faded. Hopefully that remains. Kamara I'd be open to selling, but maybe want to keep a little bit longer, I don't know. See what money we can get actually. Orsic, again 29, had a very good season, but I think he was a sort of gap filler while other players developed. I'd be content to sell him if a bid arised. Elena I wouldn't want to sell yet. Dynami I'd be fairly content to loan but not sell. Kennedy will stay. Hadji, sell if the price is right. Weston, I think if a good loan came in for Weston I'd be open to it, but it would have to be a good loan. Maburi I would sell. Young Coombs I wouldn't. Ibue, let's see how you're getting on. Fairly good. And McPake, I'd maybe sell him, to be honest. Might be the right time to cash in. We'll see how it goes. We'll assess all that going forward. So, if we have a look at this season compared to last season, and I think this is the important comparison now, we finished 9 points worse off. 138 scored last season, 25 conceded. As you see, an extra 11 conceded this season compared to 10 less scored. So that's a big swing, both directions at both ends of the pitch. So hopefully we can correct that going forward. So I do think we need to make some changes defensively, but at the same time I don't want to make too many, because I want to, just sign Lewis Nielsen. I want to get him pushed through. I want to get Liam King starting to push through. I want to continue developing Lewis Mail, who I'll probably send out on loan, to be fair. In the reserves we've got, in fact we'll just go to Dev Centre because it'll be easier. In fact, it's recommending promoting all these guys, I think, as first team candidates. Charlie Cresswell was the guy I'm thinking of. Could certainly be promoted up, and I think he would do a good job. Cavanis is recommended for promotion as well. Now, he was on the bench for that game that I had to play, but the one that I was looking at for goalkeeper promotion would have been, truthfully, Jay Hogarth. Let's compare them. Creventis. So they're both... Creventis is 2 years older. Miles better at shot stopping. Okay, but a lot worse at distribution. Let's have an attributes compare. So, oh wow, you can see huge differences there actually. Even just the reflexes. That's slightly concerning actually. So, J. Hogarth, development training. Get reactions, reflexes, yes. Straight away, let's get that done. See if we can get him good, because he does have potential. I mean, both these guys have potential. Maybe it would be worth promoting him then. I'm going to have a think about that. Elsewhere down here, so we've got Doyle West. Let's just go back to Dev Centre. So let's recommend these guys. Kyle Semple, I've been monitoring him for a good while actually, and I do think he is going to be great. Does he still have it? No, he doesn't. He used to be compared with Richard Goff. He is Jamie Semple's brother, so he's the one that I thought was the better of the two, ironically. Sam Campbell recommended for promotion. Is he one of the ones that I bought, or is he one of the ones that came through? I've bought him from Motherwell. He's recommended for promotion, but I'm retraining him as a midfielder, if I remember correctly. Indeed I am, because I think he would make a pretty good deep blind playmaker, to be honest with you. A bit of work on his vision and stuff could be great. So I'm going to keep him down there. Chris Randall is kind of the opposite. I'm retraining him as a right back, if I remember correctly. Might look a bit crazy, but again, I think he has the stats for it. What's he naturally? A ball-winning midfielder? He could do it, but I think he'd be a decent right back. Cresswell we've seen, Caventis we've seen, Kyle Semple we've seen. So I'm going to have a proper review of all the youth team before I go into too much more of that. So I'm fairly content. Obviously we need to work on a few things. In fact, yeah, it's saying here it's good enough to be moved to reserves, but needs playing on the under 18s as well. So yeah, kind of just take all this on board. So guys, I'm going to end this here. We'll have a look at the loan progress, and we'll just click on Richie Holster really kicked on actually. Oh wow, he could be. It's a pace, it's acceleration. looks so good, white right, but he can't run. You know, we could make something out of him, but he cannot run. Does still have that 5-star potential though. I do like Richie Holster. And again, up front, I'm actually leaning to him being a winger now, you know, if we could get him to be able to run. What about centre? Pace, no, it's even more, it's as important there. Okay, we'll have a think about that. No real other kick-ons. James Graham looks decent improvement, 17. Youth intake again was really bad. Kelsey Ewan rather, looks decent. Harley Ewan, very little improvement there, although he had a very good loan. Very little improvement. Scottish Championship level has maybe been below his level. Good improvement from Robbie Fraser. Jamie Hamilton has regressed. Now that's worrying that he's regressed on that loan. Bobby Carroll, Divine's kind of about as and where. Alex Lowry, who I loaned out late on, kicked on. He's done well. Maybe he's another loan away though. Josh McPake about similar. Finlayson, that one's decent. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to leave you with that, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe, and I hope to catch you all next time.